Our Seema Modi's here at Post 9 with a very special guest on that front. Hey, Seema.
Carl, I'm delighted to say we have Canada's Minister of International Trade, Mary Ng. Minister, thank you for joining us here in New York.
Well, it's great to be here, Seema, and I'm looking forward to this conversation with you and Americans.
3 days till President-elect Trump is sworn into office here in the U.S. Big question is around trade. What can you tell us about what Canada is preparing if he does follow through on his tariff threat?
Well, I think what I want to say to Americans is that Canada is the biggest customer to 36 states. Every day, 36 states wake up and say, Canada is our biggest customer, and I think that matters. And the reason that matters is that if you're going to put tariffs on Canada, what it actually will do is it will actually make things more expensive for Americans. It's going to make things more expensive for American families, for American farmers, for American businesses. And if you look at how much trade we do, that's going to really matter, and it's going to matter a lot to Americans.
Well, the cost of business also goes up if Canada retaliates. Are you expecting dollar-to-dollar retaliation, and what's on your list of U.S. goods that could face tariffs from Canada?
Well, everything is going to be on the table. What we have been working on is to make the point to Americans that as your biggest customer, and when we sell 70% of our goods to the USA, you can pretty much be sure that if you're buying something in a supermarket, any of that good, think about a candy bar. There's probably some Canadian in there. So if you're paying $4 today, you might be paying $5 tomorrow. So it really is about the cost to Americans, what it means to American businesses, what it means to American families. You don't want it to be more expensive. So I would say to the Americans, and I would also say to the president, these Trumps don't make good sense for Americans. So why do them?
Is Canada ready to use energy as leverage in this trade negotiation? The thought of an export tax on the Canadian oil and natural gas that comes into the U.S., which would be costly to Americans.
Well, you make a really good point about energy, and there's a lot that's been said about a trade deficit with Canada. But you know what? We sell a lot to America. That is true. We sell energy to America. But if you take away the energy that we sell to America, there's actually a trade surplus. So, in fact, Americans do better in their trade with Canada. And if you take energy out, it is a trade surplus. But I don't actually think Americans want us to not be selling electricity, oil, and gas to America because, I'm here in New York. The lights on Broadway, lots of it is Canadian electricity.
One way to get around the tariffs is you could merge with the U.S. and become the 51st state, as the president-elect has suggested. What do you make of that?
Well, let me put it this way. That isn't going to happen. And I'm more interested in talking to Americans, to the 50 states here, and to say that, look, tariffs are going to be really, really hurtful to American businesses, to American families, to American farmers. And I want Americans to think about those tariffs and just how not good they are for the American economy.
You're speaking on a day where the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has a speech out, and I'll read just a piece. Market tariffs, blanket tariffs, would worsen the cost of living crisis. Retaliation by our trading partners will hit our farmers. The bottom line is this: tariffs are a tax paid by Americans. Are you coordinating with the U.S. Chamber?
Well, I'm glad the U.S. Chamber has come out to say that because that is actually the fact. I mean, when you put tariffs on, they actually impact directly Americans. So I'm glad that the American Chamber is also saying that. But I would also say this. I think we have a very unique opportunity right now for Canada and the United States to build an even stronger economy, a stronger North American economy by working together. I think we've got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do that today, and that's where we should be going. Let's not talk about these tariffs. Let's not do these tariffs. They hurt American families. They hurt American communities. Let's do something together, which is let's build together.